Welcome back, McFly subscribers. Today we're tying the Last Chance Cripple, an incredible fly that mimics a wounded mayfly. Now I'll discuss this fly in more detail further in the video, as I'm sure you want to get started tying right away. But in case you haven't seen this channel before, this is McFly Angler.
Starts now.
Okay, let's get started tying. Place your hook securely in your vise. For a hook, I'm using Risen's Barbless Dry Fly 100 in size 16. Now this is a standard dry fly hook as it's not too long or too short and has a down eye. Okay, we'll need some thread, and today I'm using Viva's 10-aught in yellow, but use whatever color you want. Start your thread just shy of the hook eye and snip or snap off the waist. Now for the tail. I really like these whiting tailing packs, as they're CDL rooster feathers with perfect stiffness and length, and the Pardo color adds some nice modeling to the tail. These will tie thousands of these flies. Here's one feather I've been working on. I've tied probably 20 or more flies with it already. So let's stroke out about a half dozen fibers to align the tips. When the tips are aligned, then grasp the tips firmly and rip them off the stem. Now I like my tails to be about a hook shank length, and you can go a little longer or shorter though, but transfer that measurement to your other hand and then make 2 light wraps to hold it into place. Check the length of the tail, and if you want it shorter or longer, you can still adjust it at this point. When happy with the length, then wrap your thread all the way down to the hook bend. And then make a loose wrap under the tail to ensure it angles out straight. End with your thread right in front of the tail. Now these flies need a shuck, which represents a mayfly getting stuck and unable to fully emerge. And you could use a shiny dubbing like Antron, but I really like this fluoro fiber. I already had a clump clipped off, and I didn't want to waste, as one strip like this will tie a dozen or more flies. But clip off about a dozen or so of the fibers from the hank. With the clipped off side facing rearward, tie this in at the base of the tail with one wrap. And then pull the tag end of the materials to shorten the shuck. These need to be about a quarter to half the length of the tail. Then start making touching smooth wraps up the hook shank, tying down this fiber, until you reach about a third of the way up the hook. And honestly, I probably should have gone up slightly more. Alright, then pull the tail fiber and shuck fiber up and clip it off. Now if you wet the end of the bunch, it will stay together and square it off for your next fly. Now I have too much here, so I'm going to cut a bit more off. Okay, wrap up over the tag ends there, and then tie back down to the start of the tail once again. Now we need a turkey biot, and I'm using olive today since this will be a BWO color scheme. Select just one of the biots, and it's much easier to separate with the tips of your scissors, and then rip it off the stem. These have 2 sides to them, and here I'm showing the underside. There's a ridge on top and a clear part on the bottom. Hold it so the ridge is on top, and you can see my finger showing through the bottom portion there. Okay, make one wrap over the biot so the ridge is on top, and then pull the biot back so just the tip is tied in. Now bring your thread up to about a third mark on the hook shank, and make sure these are very smooth and even wraps. By the way, these biots come in a range of colors, more than I have here. While not necessary, I like adding a dot of super glue on the bodkin, then wiping that on the abdomen thread like so. This will help keep the fly more durable, as those biots sometimes can break loose. So grab the butt end of the biot with some hackle pliers, and proceed to make wraps up the hook shank. The first wrap can be tricky, but you want that pushed up right against the tail and shuck. You can see here how each wrap forms a rib, and ensure that each wrap is not overlapping the ridge of the previous wrap, as that will remove the nice ribbing look. Check out how great those biot bodies look. Okay, when you reach your thread, then capture the biot with a wrap or 2 over it and then in front. Now you can trim off the waist, and then make a wrap or 2 to clean up the tag end. Okay, now we need some dubbing, and today I'm using this beaver dubbing, which is naturally buoyant and will dub on quite fine. Now we don't need much, so just pull out a small amount like this. Then separate it slightly in your fingers like so. By the way, another popular choice is rabbit dubbing, or honestly any dry fly dubbing could work, and use whatever color you desire also. Now dub this onto your thread, forming a tight yet fairly thick noodle. Proceed to make a little dubbing ball right at the start of the biot abdomen, and then end your thread right in front of the dubbing ball. Okay, now we need 2 CDC feathers. Today I'm using blue dun to mimic the BWO. There's a slight curve to these feathers, and I like to have them back to back so the tips splay out, instead of spooning each other like this. Also align the tips the best that you can. Then stroke the fibers forward and grasp just behind the tips like so. Measure out about a hook shank length wing, and then tie this in with a couple wraps, wrapping back up onto the dubbing ball slightly. Then cut off the excess pieces about halfway down the hook shank like so. Now we need some hackle, and today I'm using this really beautiful rooster saddle in grizzly, which has some really nice long feathers to it, where each feather can tie 10 or more of these flies. You can also use a rooster cape like this, which has a wider range of feather sizes to it. The ones up towards the neck are good for dries, down to size 20 or even smaller. But the feathers are short, and we'll tie a max of 2 to 3 of these flies. Okay, we need a feather in the size 16 today. And here's one about size 16, and you can see that the fibers reach out to the 16 loop. If you don't have a hackle gauge, then you can test this on a bare hook. Wrap it around the hook and make sure it extends past the hook point. And you want it between right past the hook point and about 1.5 times the length of the hook point. Okay, let's prepare these feathers for tie-in. Cut off the first few inches of a brand new feather, as those fibers aren't usable. Then strip off a bit of the fibers, exposing a bare thread about this long. Now a hackle feather has 2 sides. This is the top part, and you can see the underside is dull, and the top is darker. Hold the feather so the top is facing you, and strip off a couple fibers on the far side of the stem like this. This is going to help this wind on with the hackle feathers pointing back a little bit. Okay, tie this in towards the back of this bare thread area with an X-wrap. And then start making wraps up the hook shank. But before you do, clip off the excess stem so it doesn't extend past the hook eye. Continue making smooth wraps up the hook shank, bending up the feather tag like so. Then pull the CDC wing up and make a couple wraps under it to help lift it up off the hook eye. Then bring your thread back to right behind the wing. Now start wrapping your hackle around the hook. You can see that the fibers are angling rearward. 3 wraps is all you need on this fly. So capture it and snip off the waist. Pull the wing back and make a wrap or 2 right behind the hook eye on bare shank. Then you can whip finish your fly under that wing. To cement the head, I really like the Solarez Ultra Thin. It has a handy paintbrush in the cap for easy application. However, I like to paint a little onto my bodkin and then wipe that amount onto the whip finish, so that there's less chance of getting in the hook eye. Cure it with your UV light and the fly will be super durable. Okay, well, there is a finished last chance cripple. One of the best dry fly patterns for getting the attention of rising trout. It is made to look like a mayfly struggling to release out of its shuck, with only one wing released, or even with part of its wing broken off. Trout are opportunistic feeders, so if they see an injured bug, they know it's an easy meal. And I've seen trout pass up live mayflies to eat this. It's really pretty easy to tie, without a ton of steps or materials. And all the materials used, especially if you use dubbing for the shuck, are readily available in fly shops. And with the exception of the hackle, they're pretty inexpensive as well. However, one hackle saddle, or even cape, should tie hundreds or even thousands of these flies. So I definitely recommend you giving this fly a try, and filling up your box with a couple different colors to mimic the mayflies in your area. Generally, the body is tied with a dark brown biot to mimic that casing that they're trying to escape from. But I've had great luck with the bodies just looking like this one here, or any other color for that matter. So try a few different colors to see what works for you. Alright, well I'm done filling up this box now, and also done with the Mayfly Dry series that I did for the month of May. The series started off with the classic Adams fly. The following week I tied the Parachute Adams, then the Comparadon. Last week I tied the Humpy, and of course wrapped up the series with this Last Chance Cripple. And next month I plan on doing a small streamer series. And I'm going to start that series off with this extremely simple rabbit fur fry. So make sure you're subscribed and click that bell notification so you don't miss any future videos like this rabbit fur fry. Oh, in case you were wondering, I do still sell these magnetic-backed fly boxes on Amazon with free shipping. They are waterproof, which will keep your flies dry until you want to fish with them, and super slim, fitting in most shirt pockets for quick runs to the water. Or you can fit multiple in a chest pack, allowing you to organize your boxes by fly type, like this Mayfly dry box. Plus, the magnets are strong enough to even hold dry flies in place. Here I am turning the box upside down and shaking it, and all the flies are still in their compartments. This will keep wind or clumsiness from causing you to lose all your flies. I will link to my Amazon storefront below in the description section of this video if you're interested. Also, don't forget to check out my sponsor Risen Fly. They made the hooks I use today, but they also make some of the best fly rods and reels for the money I have ever used. Best off, they're offering you all a discount. So if you're in the market for a new rod or a bunch of hooks or beads, go to www.risenfly.com and type in McFly at checkout and they'll give you 15% off of your first order with them. Okay, thanks for watching. If you like this video, do me a favor and click that like button. Also, please share my videos with all your fish-loving friends. I will see you on the next video. Now you go catch some fish.